Hello guys, welcome back again to our most expected series, and I am your mentor Purbita, and I am currently pursuing my masters in ICAR IARI New Delhi under the division of Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry. So we've had completed up to 78th question in the previous video. Those of you who had watched it, it's fine. So you can join me here, and those who haven't, please go and give it a watch. Okay. So we will start once the audio and video is clear and I get a signal from you guys. And we will be starting with our 79th question. Okay, so the 79th question is coming in your screen. Sorry, I showed you the answer. International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics. It is called as ICRISAT. So that is present where? That is present in only one international institute is present in the whole of India, and that is located in Hyderabad. Okay. In Philippines, what is present? International Rice Research Institute is present in Philippines. But only one international institute is present in Hyderabad, in India, which is in Hyderabad, and this is this. And the Central Arid Zone Research Institute, again, this is present in Jodhpur. Okay, Central Arid Zone. So this is for the semi-arid tropics, and this is for the arid zone that is present in Jodhpur. Okay. Coming to the next question, there are two statements given. Number one is, in gamma ray attenuation method, a radioactive isotope such as CS131, okay, so it should be 7, is a source of gamma radiation. Okay. So this is a method of soil moisture measurement. Soil moisture measurement. Gamma ray attenuation is a radioactive method of soil moisture measurement, and the attenuation of gamma rays passing through the soil will depend on the soil thickness, bulk density, water content following Beard's-Lambert's law. So this is Beard's-Lambert's law, and that states that whatever intensity is there, IT, intensity of your transmitted radiation, will be exponentially, it is e to the power minus t into, or we can say that C into L, whatever, related to the initial intensity. So, with the increase in concentration, the intensity will decrease. So, this concentration, according to the concentration, this was given by Beard, and according to the length of the path, it was given by Lambert. Okay. And here in gamma ray attenuation method, they are saying that it will follow Beard's law, and it will pass through the soil, and it will depend on the soil thickness and all that. So this is a true statement because we use cesium-137 as the radioactive isotope, okay, for the gamma ray attenuation, and sodium iodide crystals are also present there. Sodium iodide crystals are also present. Now, what will be the correct answer? Correct answer is option number A. Both the statements 1 and 2 are true. If you guys are watching it, you can also comment the answers in the chat box. Then it will be a more of an interactive session. Okay. Okay. Moving to the next question. In splash erosion, the raindrop energy will act as a form of. So whenever the raindrop is falling, suppose from a particular height, it will act as a source of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is given by half mv square. So whenever the energy is static, it will be potential energy. So that raindrop falling from a great distance, it will actually be converted to kinetic energy, and then it will strike the ground, help in splashing. So this is the first stage of water erosion. First stage of water erosion. So after splash, we have what? After splash, we have sheath. Okay. Then we have rill erosion. Then we have gully erosion, and finally the gullies will form ravines. So this is the entire sequence of erosion. Okay. So it will be kinetic energy of the raindrops. Okay. Next, water harvesting will refer to. So in this area of water conservation, water harvesting will refer to the conservation of rainwater. Okay. So first, let's see, collection of runoff water and recycling the store water for irrigation. So they are saying that you are collecting the runoff water into the pores. Okay, that's good. Conservation of rainwater in the soil. So this is particularly a technique of rainwater harvesting. This is not water harvesting, but this is rainwater harvesting. Okay. Then a technique of better harvesting the groundwater to supplement the canal irrigation, no? Then a method of preventing percolation loss of water. So, you are preventing the percolation or the leaching losses by suitably applying the moisture barrier substances like that of asphalt. So, they are asking that what is water harvesting, they are not asking the applications or the examples of water harvesting. So, correct answer will be your option number A, because by all this bonding and by the application of moisture retentive substances, we can retain the water in the macro or the micropores. Coming to the next question. Soil color is determined by, okay, very good, Aman is here. So, soil color is determined by moon cell color chart, whereas soil sample is compared to standard color chips. So, this is also true in case of moon cell color chart. Okay, let's see whether or not your answer is correct. In moon cell color chart, there are 199 chips and hue value divided by chroma. This is the formula of the moon cell color chart. Hue will represent the dominant spectral color. Yes, it will represent the dominant spectral color. Either it can be red or it can be yellow red. Value will indicate the relative brightness. Yes, if your value is 0, that means your color is black. If your value is higher, up to 8, that means your color is light, and with the soils containing high amount of organic matter, it is generally 0. Chroma will show the purity or intensity of the dominant color. So, yes, chroma is the purity or the strength of the dominant color. So, both the statements are true. You guys are correct. Yes, value is quality, chroma is intensity. Very good. Okay, very good. Now, so here it is. Herbicide group dinitroaniline includes. So, whenever there is aniline group, already it is mentioned, aniline group. So, whenever there is aniline group, dinitroaniline group, it is already mentioned with the help of the suffix. So, tell me what is the correct answer. Okay. Trifluorine, fluochlorine, propylene, and all these are there. So, comment guys, what will be the correct answer? Aniline. So, the suffix will also come from lin, right? So, it is option number D. Okay. Only one thing, it is that propylene. This is not a dinitroaniline. Okay, this is not, even though it has the same prefix, same suffix, it does not belong to the dinitroaniline group. Next, soil compression is the change in volume of a soil under an applied stress, while compaction means increase in density to an applied pressure. So, whenever I was teaching in class, I had already mentioned that in case of compression, there will be only change in volume. And in case of compaction, there will be both change in volume as well as your bulk density. And in case of consolidation, there will be expulsion of water from the pores. So, these three terms you should be very clear with. Okay, option number A, let's see. Soil compression will refer to the increase in the soil voids when the pressure is applied. Is it so? Is it so? Will it increase the soil voids? No, it will reduce the pore space, right? So, statement 2 is incorrect, but statement 1 is correct. Okay, so option number C will be our correct answer. Okay. So, these are our batches, and those of you who are preparing for the ICAR JRF, you can kindly subscribe to those, and you can also get it at a special offer price. We have some amazing mentors here, and if you like our teaching, then you can please go and join. Okay. Now, coming to this question. So, this is the question from flame photometer. Okay. So, sodium, potassium, calcium, barium. So, these are the colors of the flames, and all of these are alkali metals, alkali metals. Okay. Group 1 elements are there. So, flame photometer is generally used for the determination of alkali metals or alkaline earth metals. So, these two are alkali metals and these two are alkaline earth metals following group 2. So, comment what will be the answer. So, for sodium, we know that it is golden yellow. Whenever we see it in flame, it is obviously golden yellow. So, A will be option number 2 and there is only one option here. Okay. C is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Coming to the next one. A fundamental requirement of all the soil mapping activities is a suitable base map which must be complete in feature and accurate in location. So, this is correct. So, whenever you are doing a mapping activity, you need to have a base map of your soil. So, this base map, you are going to compare this, or you are going to form this base map with the help of a topographical map that you have, and then you are going to superimpose your geographical information system or remotely sensed data on this base map. Okay, you are going to superimpose these two maps or overlay it on the base map, and then you are going to get a soil map of a particular region. Cadastral maps are always prepared at a scale of 1 to 10,000 regardless of terrain. Is that so? Cadastral maps are those maps that do not exhibit the topographical boundaries or topographical features. To understand the soil profile, is there any shortcut to remember? Okay. Coming to your question, just let me finish this. So, cadastral maps, okay. So, option number C is the right answer because 1 to 10,000 scale is not that for the cadastral maps. It is 1 is to 2640 and 1 is to 7920. 1 is to 10,000 means whenever you are increasing this number, that means your scale will be small. The scale of the map is small, that means 1 unit area of your ground will represent 10,000 unit area, sorry, 1 unit area of map will represent 10,000 unit area of a ground. So, you are representing a much larger area. So, here the scale is small, okay, and your details will also be less. But if your scale is this one, suppose 2640 for cadastral map, that means the area represented in the ground is comparatively less. So, this is called a large scale map, and this we use for detailed soil survey. Okay. So, for the soil profile, profile is nothing but remember that profile is two-dimensional in nature. Profile is two-dimensional in nature. So, we have a pedon, this pedon is three-dimensional in nature, and when we cut our soil, okay, suppose we are digging or excavating a hole, we are seeing the profile as a two-dimensional layer. But for pedon, we are just bringing up that entire volume which is three-dimensional. So, the profile is a two-dimensional cross section and it is supposed to be vertical. It is supposed to be vertical where different layers will be arranged in your soil. So, the first one is, you can remember that on your soil there are trees, right? So, the first one will be related to the organic horizon because there is trees on the first one. Then after the organic horizon will be your A. Just remember the normal alphabetical series. There will be A, B, C. Very easy. A, B, C. These are the profiles. A, B, C. Just your normal alphabets. So, this A1 means the first mineral horizon. In the regions where the organic matter is not present, or suppose the vegetation is not that much developed, A will be the first mineral horizon, and after that there will be B. So, A is the topsoil, you can say, and B is the subsoil. C is the region where microbial activity has not yet started, or it is very less. That means it is not that weathered. Okay. And the last layer is R, that is of your bedrock. So, from bedrock you can remember that it is R. Could I make you understand farming to feed the nation? Could I make you understand? Okay. So, now coming to our next question. If the valency of an ion increases, the thickness of the double layer. If the valency of an ion increases, then the thickness of the double layer will decrease. I just told you in my previous video only. Yes, it is going to decrease. More the valency of the ion, the more constricted will be our double layer. Okay. Okay. Next, what is the ideal pH range of rice crop? So, while studying rice, you should remember that rice is grown in acidic conditions. It is a good acidic condition, it can grow, it can tolerate salt as well, it can tolerate waterlogging. So, what is the ideal pH range for rice? Okay, option number D. Okay, but here it is not from 4, but it is 5 to 6.5. Here it is written 4 to 6.5. No, this will be too like low a pH. So, you can say 5 to 6.5. Okay. or even in the books where it is 4.5 to 6 or 4.5 to 6.5 also you can mention, but not 4. It will be too low a value. Okay. 4.5 if it was there, then you can easily take that. Okay. Now, the number of electrons in an atom of an element is equal to number of electrons in the atom of an element is equal to. So, this is basic chemistry of class 9. If the number of electrons, tell me what will be the answer. So, it is nothing but, it is what? It is the atomic number, very easy. Okay, now one thing, this equivalent weight is whenever a species is undergoing a reaction, it will be judged by the number of electrons that is donated or accepted by the species. Okay. So, we will measure it with the help of normality of that particular species or gram equivalent weight we can measure, and normality is equal to molarity into valency. Valency will refer to the number of electrons added or removed from a particular element. Ma'am, please mention some important topics of basic chemistry. So, in case of basic chemistry, you have to at least remember the okay, conversion. I'll write it here. So, for basic chemistry, you have to remember. Okay. Number 1 is solubility product. Okay. ISP. Questions from solubility product. Then conversion of molarity, molality. Okay, all this. Normality. This all you should remember. Basic numericals on pH. Basic numericals on pH you should do. Then basic chemistry, you have to be very clear with the terms like ionic potential, electron affinity, electronegativity. All these terms you should be very clear with, but mostly the questions come from these two: solubility product, molarity, normality, molality, all this calculation. Also this N1V1, N2V2, like what will be the strength of a solution. So basically they ask questions like this from basic chemistry. Also okay, one more thing is organic compounds and isomerism. Okay, organic compounds and isomerism. So that also you have to remember. Organic chemistry and basic chemistry. Okay, this much will cover the whole thing. Okay. Okay, coming to our next question. The terminal velocity of a particle falling in the fluid medium will be proportional to the square of its diameter. Very, very easy law given by Stokes to measure the soil textural analysis. Okay, textural analysis. And if anybody can comment on the chat box, what is the formula for Stokes law? It is 2/9 r square rho, suppose solid minus liquid, g by theta. This v, terminal velocity, is equal to. So, this r square will refer to the radius, and this is the density of the solid. This is the density of the liquid media in which the solid is falling, and eta is the coefficient of viscosity. Okay. So, this Stokes law is used for, मैम एक मैराथन इन टॉपिक भी, मैराथन भी आएगा इन सारे टॉपिक्स में. वी आर ट्राइंग टू कवर द एंटायर सिलेबस विद अ मैराथन क्लास, not multiple marathon classes, but we expect full cooperation and participation from you guys. Okay, so yes, these topics will be covered, don't worry. Okay, so it is Stokes law. Now, the sulfur status of soil in ppm as extracted by this. So this is the extractant, this is the basic extractant of while estimating the sulfur availability in the soil. And it is, so generally we say that it is 10 to 15 ppm of sulfur. If it is less than 10 ppm, then it is deficient. Okay, if it is less than 10 ppm, then it is deficient. Okay, you are saying 40. Kuntal, let's see. Oh yes, sorry. So it is okay. I am talking about the deficiency. So this is the critical deficiency. Okay, of sulfur according to the Caton-Nelson part, but okay, it is 40. 40 after extraction. So, this 0.15% of CaCl2, and we also use gum acacia and barium chloride solution. So, this gum acacia is solid and barium chloride solution, and then this barium sulfate precipitate is formed that we measure with the help of nephelometer or turbidimeter, and we judge the sulfur content by this. Okay, so now 10 ppm is the critical deficiency, but this is the sulfur status they are asking. They are not asking about the critical range. They are asking about the status. Okay, okay. Coming to the next statement, citrus canker is caused by Xanthomonas campestris pathovarsitii, okay, and appears as small brown corky outgrowth. So this is also canker. Whenever there is canker, always remember it is caused by bacteria. So this Xanthomonas is a bacteria. Dieback or wither tip is caused by Colletotrichum gliosporioides, while gummosis is caused by Phytophthora palmivora. So this is a question taken from plant pathology, and option A will be our correct answer. So this is just one or two general agricultural questions also involved in this mock test. Okay. Now, internal cork of apple is due to, this is again a very nice question. From deficiency symptoms, internal cork of apple is due to, comment in the chat box guys. It is due to the deficiency of boron. Okay, internal cork of apple is due to the deficiency of boron. But calcium causes what? Calcium causes what? It causes, right? Am I right? It causes bitter pit. Okay. Internal cork is due to boron, and remember, wherever there will be heart related problems, it will be all boron. Okay, heart related problems. Then for the manganese, we can say that little leaf is there, but only for cotton, but rest all the other little leaves are by zinc. Okay. Okay, next. Again, general agriculture question. Yeah, bitter pit. The Golgi body, also called as the endomembrane system, is associated with the ER and lysosomes, provides site for synthesis of lytic enzymes and supports the cell wall formation. Again, a question from general agriculture. This is true. The endomembrane system consists of endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes and Golgi body. So, the endoplasmic reticulum forms the Golgi and the Golgi forms the lysosome. Okay. And so, this is true that it helps in the formation and stabilization of the cell wall. Lysosomes are produced independently of the Golgi complex and do not contain hydrolytic enzyme. This is a false statement. Lysosomes will contain hydrolytic enzymes and they are formed from Golgi body only. So, statement 1 is correct, but 2 is incorrect. Okay. Got it, guys? Next. What was the use of DDT banned for agricultural purposes in India? Sorry, it is stating when. When was DDT banned, guys? Comment. When was DDT banned? Also, tell me the full form of DDT. I want it in the comment section. Full form of DDT. Okay, somebody is saying A, somebody is saying B. Let's see. So, it was banned in, okay, 1885 they are saying. Is it true? 1885. It is 19 written here. I think it will be 1985, not 1885. Okay. So, it is option number A. Dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. Very good. Okay. Next. What are the causes of hysteresis? So, hysteresis is generally involved in soil moisture characteristic curve. Soil moisture characteristic curve. And this hysteresis will be, okay, he's writing A. Okay, so let's see first. We have to also understand the options. So, it states that the metric potential, at the same metric potential, the water content during desorption, the water content will be greater than during sorption. Okay, at the same Metric potential. So suppose I am drawing this curve like this. So this is desorption, this is adsorption. Okay, at the same metric potential, this is the water content. Water content, I am writing volumetric water content over here. So, okay. Just let me draw it properly. So this is metric potential in your y-axis, volumetric water content in your x-axis. This volumetric water content, this is desorption and this is sorption. Yes, desorption, absorption. Okay. So this is hysteresis and this is due to size and shape of the pores, because pore geometry is very important, otherwise there can be. Ma'am, contact angle is more in wetting, na? Yes, contact angle is more in wetting. Whenever your soil is getting wet, contact angle will be more. How? So suppose this is your contact angle. Okay, this is your drop. While the drop is advancing, while your drop is advancing, also the contact angle during advance is more than the contact angle during receding. This is advancing phase and this is receding phase. Okay, so there is a difference in contact angle as well. DDT ban in India in 1989. Okay, I'll have to check and see. Okay, I'll have to check and see. I do not remember the exact year, Kuntal. Okay. Entrapped air is also there in the pore. So this entrapped air is also called residual air. So due to that residual air, some amount of what happens during desorption, because your water is moving out of your soil system, some amount of air will replace the water and that air will prevent a barrier to the desorption of further water. So in that case, entrapped air will be there. Size and shape will be affected by bottleneck geometry of your pores, bottleneck pore geometry, and swelling and shrinkage in case of cracking clay soils. These soils will tend to hold more water than normal. So A, B, C, D, it is the correct answer, but you also have to understand the concept. Why? These are the causes of hysteresis. Now, what is the cation exchange capacity of humus? Again, a very, very easy question. Cation exchange capacity of humus. So you have to remember that humus has the highest cation exchange capacity. After that there is clay, after that there is silt or loam. Yes, silt and sand. So these two generally have no cation exchange capacity, but the cation exchange capacity of humus is even more than clay, and for humus it is around 250 to 1500 milli equivalent per 100 grams. So in some books you can also get 200 to 250, but we are going with the safer option, that is 250 to 1500 milli equivalent per 100 gram. Okay, 1989. Then correct that. Wait, I will correct it. 1989. So I will correct this to be 1989. Okay, guys. This is 1989. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, moving to the next question. Tell me the answer. So these are the different instruments given. This is again a question from your agricultural meteorology. Anemometer, altimeter, aneroids barometer and Campbell-Stokes. So all we know is Campbell-Stokes is sunshine recorder. Okay. So it is the duration of sunshine. Campbell-Stokes is supposed to measure the duration of sunshine. So D will be 4. Now, anemometer and altimeter. So altimeter, from the height itself, it is height. Okay. Altimeter means height or altitude, and aneroids barometer is also there and anemometer is there. So what will be the answer? It is option number B. Okay, let's see. So B is altimeter, B is option number 2, yes. A is 1. Okay, anemometer is used to measure the wind speed. True, very true. Anemometer is used to measure the wind speed and aneroid barometer is used to measure the atmospheric pressure. Okay, fine. Next question. What element makes up the core of the earth? This is very important. What element makes up the core of the earth? So for that you have to have basic knowledge of geology. So we have two plains, one is Sial and the other is Sima. So this Sial is nothing but continental crust. Continental, yes, continental crust, and Sima is oceanic crust. So that means it will dominate, it will have a dominance of silicon and aluminium, and this one will have a dominance of silicon and magnesium. But I am saying, I am talking about the core. So it will not be silicon. The core will be made up of iron. Core will be made up of iron. Iron is the only element that is. Now am I audible, guys? Hello, am I audible now? Okay. So let's see what is the answer for this question. It is option number B. Okay, so which is not true, I am saying. So obviously the crop growing season will not be more than 200 days. Single or mixed cropping, yes, you undertake because the crop growing season is so less, and there are problems of wind and water erosion because it is a dry land farming. So option B will be the correct answer over here. Okay. Lines joining equal rainfalls. Tell me. Lines joining equal rainfalls. So it is isoheights. Isoheights. Okay. Bars are the lines joining equal pressure. Okay, bars are the lines joining equal pressure. So option number C will be your correct answer. Yes, everybody is right. So here you can see that isotags are those having equal wind speed is there. Isocline is that which has same slope or inclination. Isocline has same slope or inclination. Okay. Next question. See, Assertion reason question based on humic acid. The E4 by E6 ratio is used as an index of relative proportion of aliphatic and aromatic structures in soil humic substances. Yes, isotac mean speed, fine. So this E4 by E6 ratio, this is spectroscopic study of humus. Spectroscopic study of humus. We will be measuring this E4 at 465 nanometer and E6 at 665 nanometer, right? Right, okay, I already got the answer. So this E4 ratio will suggest the allopathic chain and the E6 ratio will suggest the aromatic chain. So for the humic acids, because the humic acids have more aromaticity than that of the fulvic acid, the E4 by E6 ratio is less, that is 3 to 5. But for fulvic acid it is more, so it is 6 to 9. So it will indicate a higher one will indicate lower aromatization, that is good, and a greater proportion of allopathic structures as seen in fulvic acid. So this is true, both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation. Okay. Next, humic substances form the major fraction of soil organic matter. Yes, so whenever we talk about the organic colloids, suppose organic colloids are there, or I am talking about the normal soil colloids. So within colloids, do not forget that inorganic ones, they constitute 90%. Inorganic ones will constitute 90%, whereas the organic ones will constitute only 10%. This inorganic colloids means clay minerals and organic fraction means organic matter. But within that organic matter, 80% will be humus. So what is our question? Our question is that humic substances form the major fraction of soil organic matter. That is true. Humus amorphous and hydrophilic. Humus is not actually hydrophilic. Humus can be both hydrophilic and hydrophobic. Hydrophilic is only the functional groups that are present. The functional groups, the different functional groups, carboxylic group, phenolic group, these are only hydrophilic. But the CH bonds that are present, they are hydrophobic. They are hydrophobic in nature. Okay, so it is both hydrophilic and hydrophobic. So we can see it is amphiphilic in nature. Now, these are crystalline hydrophobic materials with low surface area and negligible CC. So this is this is false. So for the crystalline and negligible CC and low surface area, this became false. Okay. So R is false and A is correct. So option number C will be our correct answer. Easy peasy. Next. Which of the following rocks are non-laminar and massive in structure? Non-laminar and massive. Okay. So for the igneous rocks, they are directly derived from lava. Sedimentary rocks are derived from sediments. Metamorphic rocks as an alteration of both sedimentary as well as igneous rocks. So option number A. Okay, they are saying option number. There is no such thing as secondary rocks. Okay, non-laminar and massive, obviously option number A. Okay, option number A is the correct answer. Next, in submerged rice soil, sulfate is reduced to sulfide and further to H2S, which causes Akiochi disease. So this is true. Akiochi disease is due to H2S toxicity in rice. And at the same time, another toxicity might develop, that is Fe+2 toxicity, ferrous iron toxicity, that will cause browning of rice, browning disease of or bronzing, whatever. H2S toxicity is responsible for the disorder. Okay, so it should be R is not the correct explanation because the how is it A? These two statements are reversed. This should have been the reason and this should have been the assertion. FeMN toxicity browning. Yes, FeMN toxicity browning. Fine. So this should not be A, this should be B. This is because the statement and assertion are reversed here, right? H2S toxicity is responsible should be the assertion and that should be the reason. So it cannot correctly explain the assertion. Okay. Next. Drip irrigation, got it guys, it should not be A, it should be B because assertion and reason, they have been reversed. Now, drip irrigation is best suited where water is abundant, soils are deep, land is flat, labor is cheap, and crops are of low value. This is just false, because the crops should be of high value and the land should be flat, fine. Soil should not be that much deep, and the labor is cheap. If the labor is cheap, why do I need high-tech equipment? It is inefficient because it causes maximum wastage of water. False. Drip irrigation is the second best efficient irrigation after pitcher pot. Okay. Pitcher pot is the most efficient, then comes drip, then there will be sprinkler. Okay, so both the statements are incorrect. A and B both are incorrect. Yes, drip is highly effective and highly efficient. Next. Which plant shows natural antagonistic effect towards nematode? Tell me. This is also a general knowledge question, general agriculture question. So, it will be a flowering plant, which is marigold. And the reason is written over here, that why is it not suited for nematodes. Next. Okay, coming to the next question. So, again a matching. So, these are the different diseases. So, wilt. So, we know that wilt means what? It is drying of twigs and branches. Sorry, dropping of leaves due to loss of target. Target pressure is less, so wilting will happen. Okay. Then we have canker. Canker is dead area in the bark of a stem. We just read about citrus canker. Then for the dieback, dieback means from top of the plant, from the top to downwards, the disease will progress. Generally for copper, copper shows dieback symptoms. Calcium is also showing dieback symptoms. Okay. Okay, so option number B according to you guys, yes, option number B is the correct one. And damping off means what? It is affected at seedling stage. Okay. Name one pathogen for damping off. Name one pathogen for damping off. Okay, in the comment. Now, desorption of phosphate, sulfate, borate and potassium from the soil colloids generally requires more energy than absorption. True. Whenever we have soil colloids, and these all, they will come in what? They will come in ligand exchange and anion exchange. Ligand exchange and anion exchange. Whenever a species is zorbed, yes, okay. Whenever a species is zorbed, what will happen? Suppose there is suppose there is phosphate, PO4 3 minus, and it is reacting with aluminium hydroxide, I am stating ALOH whole thrice. Okay, 2 ALOH whole thrice. So, whenever a species is zorbed, what will happen? The bonds, the chemical bonds that are formed in the initial stage, they will move towards more stronger bonds. Okay, and that is why desorption will require more energy than adsorption. That is why it is so difficult for the minerals to be in a dynamic equilibrium with that of the exchange phase or that of the solution phase. This is due to strong retentive forces involved in ligand exchange and specific sorption. So, whenever there is specific sorption, that means one element is preferred over the other. Suppose phosphate, it has, it can actually couple with, it can either form a bidentate ligand or it can form a monodentate ligand. So, in that case, retentive forces will strengthen. So, this is option number A will be the correct answer for this question. Okay. Next, air capacity of a soil should be greater than for all the crops except paddy. So, what should be the minimum percentage of air capacity? Why is it written paddy? Because paddy can be grown in anaerobic conditions as well. So, what will be the correct answer for this? It is option number A, that is 10% soil air. Okay, 10% soil air. Generally, the ODR value, that is the oxygen diffusion rate, for these it is 30 to 40 gram per centimeter square per minute. This should be the optimum ODR, and the critical ODR must be 20 into 10, sorry, into 10 to the power minus 8, I forgot, into 10 to the power minus 8 gram per centimeter square per minute. So below this particular ODR, the crops will cease to grow. And the minimum concentration of oxygen in the root zone must also be 10%. Below this, roots will cease to grow. Okay. And this ODR, it is measured with the help of a platinum electrode, platinum microelectrode, platinum microelectrode. So all these things you should be very clear with. And ODR, it is the best parameter to estimate the air capacity of a particular soil. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna Kalpana. Fine. Now, soils with higher clay and organic matter content will show greater buffering capacity. Very true. Buffer capacity is independent of the cation exchange capacity. No, that is so false. So, A will be correct, but R is not correct. And tell me another thing, whenever we increase, whenever our soil has more buffering capacity, the amount of ameliorants, that is lime or whatever, it also increases. So, in the clay soil, you will require more amendment than that of a sandy soil. Also, with 1 unit increase in pH, the base saturation, with 1 unit increase in pH, the base saturation increases by 20%. So, pH, it is linked with base saturation, that is again linked with CEC, cation exchange capacity, right? And buffering capacity is also related to CEC. So, you cannot neglect that. Okay. Next, molybdenum requirement of nodulated legumes is particularly high. This is true because molybdenum, it is an agent for nitrate reductase. Nitrate reductase enzyme present in the cytoplasm of the plant that helps in nitrogen fixation. So, this is true for nodulated plants. It is involved in the nitrate enzyme responsible for biological nitrogen fixation, and you also have to remember the source. Where is it present? It is present in cytoplasm. If I were talking about this nitrogenase or nitrite reductase, then nitrite reductase is present in chloroplast. Okay. But nitrate reductase is present in cytoplasm. So, both the statements are true. Okay, nitrogen is the enzyme that catalyzes biological nitrogen fixation. Okay, so it is written nitrate enzyme. Okay, the full name is not written. So, A is correct, R is not correct. If it were nitrate reductase, then the answer would have been correct. Next, the extent of leaching required for salt affected soil will depend only on the initial salinity. Okay, extent of leaching. Soil properties, water quality, leaching methods and all that will influence the leaching needs. So, A is not correct because it is not only dependent on the initial salinity but also how much you want to bring your salinity down. Okay. So, option number D will be the correct answer, that is A is false but R is true. This is true but that is not true. Coming to the next question, guys. So, this is the different pigments that are present. Okay, red color in tomato, all know that it is lycopene. Okay, pungency in chili, capsaicin. Yellow color in turmeric, curcumin, and red color in carrot, carrot for carotene. So, what will be the answer? It is option number A. Yes. Okay, good, fine. Okay, coming to the next question, deep ploughing and subsoiling will improve the internal drainage of salt affected soil. So, in salt affected soil, we generally undertake one procedure which is called marling or profile inversion. Okay. These methods will break the impermeable layers or the hard pans in the soil profile, allowing the dissolved salt to move into the deeper layers. So, whenever your soil is impermeable, suppose your subsoil has a hard pan or a plough sole, then the leaching of the salts cannot take place, and that is why we need deep ploughing to break those. So, option number A will be the correct answer. Good, guys. Next, beneficial elements are essential for all plant species under all conditions. No, only for specific plant species, and some beneficial elements are sodium, silicon, aluminium. Okay. So these are written, these are universally required by every plant. This is also incorrect. So both assertion and reason are not correct. Okay. Next. Match the following. So you already have told me about iso heights. So iso heights means lines joining equal rainfall. Isohails means hail, wherever this hail word will come, it will be lines joining equal sunshine hours. Okay. Then isobars means equal atmospheric pressure and therms means temperature. So A1, B2, C3, D4. B option will be correct. Who is writing D? Okay. Yes, option number B, not D. Chalo. Last question. Law of maxima. Maxima given by whom? Wallace. States that when all the growth factors are adequately supplied, the rate process will reach its maximum potential. So, according to the law of maxima, he stated that all the growth factors are supplied, there will be a cumulative effect. They will add up. Additive interaction will take place and the maximum effect will be even more than the combined effect. So, this is because of synergistic and sequentially additive interaction. So, this is also true. So, option number A will be our correct answer. Okay. So, it was given by Wallace and all that. So, with this, we come to the end of our most expected question series. I hope you enjoyed the class. I hope you got to learn a lot from it. And if you have any queries, you can always comment. Okay. And we will be there to help you. You can also subscribe to our mock test bundle as well as our paid courses, and good kind of discounts are there happening for because your JRF is knocking at the door. So yeah, thank you. Okay, thanks to every one of you for being so attentive and writing the comments and making the session an interactive one. Okay, goodbye.